The elements of drama. Dramas tell stories. Stories create drama. The elements remain the same. Expand your mind. Playtime. Read a short script. Discover a secret. Uncover the literary elements that bring the story to life. At the end of this lesson, you will complete a worksheet to identify literary elements from your novel or short story. Objectives. After completing this lesson, you will be able to identify literary elements within a drama, novel, or short story. Provide quotations from a text to show how literary elements affect the story. A secret among us? You are a student working for your school newspaper. You are certain that one of the students has a strange secret. You are just not sure which one. Is it the homecoming queen, the athlete, the nerd, or possibly your best friend? How will you uncover the monster within? A girl named Cami finds herself in this strange situation in a short comedic play called Alienated. Comedic, funny. Like a novel or short story, a play uses literary elements to reveal details piece by piece. The elements interact to give you the complete story. In this lesson, you will read the beginning of Alienated by Ken Pruce. You will discover the characters, setting, conflict, and more. Print the list of characters to help you keep track of the suspects as you read. Serena, Cami, Katie, Brian. Reading a play. Novelists tell stories by revealing the characters' words and actions. Playwrights do the same. They create dialogue so you know what the characters are saying. They include stage directions to reveal what characters do or to convey what characters are feeling. The format of a play is different from that of a novel or short story. Plays are often quicker and easier to read. There are no quotation marks around what words the characters speak. There are fewer descriptions, leaving things up to the imaginations of the actor, director, and readers. You are about to take a look at Alienated. Here is a sneak peek at the format. Look it over now, so it is not alien to you when you begin reading the play. Names in capital letters, followed by a colon to tell you who is speaking. The words that follow a speaker's name show you what the character says. Words in parentheses and italics are stage directions. They are not spoken out loud. They explain how a character says a line or what a character does. Literary elements, the exposition, setting, and protagonist. You will read the exposition in the first 2 pages of the play, Alienated. As you read, examine the literary elements that help the story come to life. You know that the exposition is the beginning of a story. The author introduces you to the setting and the protagonist. Look for the information in the exposition to help you identify the setting, the time and place in which a story occurs. Like novels and short stories, plays reveal the setting in 2 ways: by descriptions written by the author and by the words and actions of the character. The opening pages also provide information about the protagonist. The protagonist is the main character in a story who has a conflict to solve. There are several ways to learn about characters when you read: by what the author tells you, by what the characters do, by what the characters say about themselves, by what other characters say about them. Literary elements, the exposition, setting, and protagonist. Read the opening pages of the play. Alienated, a short play by Ken Pruce. Read the text, answer the question that follows, and then hit submit. The setting of the play can be pieced together from the dialogue and stage directions. Based on the lines and descriptions listed, what would be the best sentence to describe setting? Protagonist. The following sentences describe the protagonist of the play. Cami is a senior and the editor of her high school paper. She is organized, determined, and positive that one of her classmates is an alien. Consider things that Cami says and does, things that others say, and stage directions the author provides. Literary elements, conflict and antagonist. In the opening pages of Alienated, you met the protagonist, Cami, and the friend she has asked to help her find the alien. As the suspects arrive, you will gather information to determine the conflict, the protagonist's main problem in the story. The conflict will help you identify the antagonist, the person or thing causing a conflict for the protagonist. There are 4 types of conflict: character versus character versus self, character versus society, character versus nature. Read the next section of the play. Read the text, answer the questions that follow, and select Submit. Although you have not read the entire play, you can still form an educated opinion about the conflict. The protagonist and another character speak lines that expose the main conflict. What are those lines? Antagonist. You have met 24 students who could be an alien. Based on the conflict you have selected, who is the antagonist in the play? Literary elements, the backstory. Read the next section of the play. You have read the opening pages of Alienated and met the suspects. Do you have a theory yet on who the alien might be? Not sure? Neither is Cami. Yet. Her plan is to present evidence and see who reacts suspiciously. As you read, look for backstory, important background information, to reveal what happened before the story began. The backstory is not always revealed at the beginning, so look for hints within the play. Literary elements, moving the plot forward. As you wrap up this opening section of the play, look for new developments in the plot, the main events of a story, that move the story forward. These developments can be found within the dialogue of the play. Think about this as you read. Which lines and actions reveal important details to advance the story? Literary elements, the backstory. When describing the backstory, your idea should be supported by the text. There are 12 lines of dialogue. Select sentences that provide some of the backstory. The following sentences provide some of the backstory that is revealed in the play. Select the 6 lines of dialogue that support the backstory in the text. Plot development. There have been several early important developments in the plot. For example, Cami has gathered all the suspects into one room. Select the events that have moved the story forward. If you are correct, a line of dialogue from the text will appear as support. Select all that apply. Recap. Now you know how the literary elements of a play interact to tell a complete story. Literary elements, setting, the time and place in which a story occurs. Protagonist, the main character in a story who has a conflict to solve. Conflict, the protagonist's main problem in the story. Antagonist, the person or thing causing a conflict for the protagonist. Backstory, important background information. Plot, the main events of a story.